Ever wonder how a life you've built brick by brick can start crumbling without you even noticing? It's not the big fights that tear it down, it's the little things, like a quick chat that lingers or a text that makes your heart race just a bit. I'm here to pull back the curtain on something you might not see coming. Why some married women end up chasing something outside their vows. This isn't about pointing fingers or calling anyone weak. It's about you and me understanding what's ticking inside us all. Picture a marriage that starts with late-night talks and stolen glances, then slowly turns into a routine of grocery runs and paying bills. After years of that, feeling invisible can creep in, and suddenly a kind word from someone new feels like a cold drink on a hot day. But here's where it gets real. You tell yourself it's harmless, just talking, no big deal. And before you know it, you're miles from where you started. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to walk you through how it happens, how a small spark can pull you in, how your mind finds excuses, and how habits can lock you tight before you see the trap. Stick with me, because this isn't just a story. It's a chance to spot those quiet moments in your own life and keep what matters close. Let's dig in together. Ever catch yourself wondering how a life you've poured your heart into can slip away like sand through your fingers? It's not the loud storms that knock you off course. It's the quiet whispers, the little moments that stack up like pebbles on a scale until the whole thing tips. I'm talking about something you might not see every day. Why some married women, maybe even someone you know, find themselves chasing a spark outside their vows. This isn't about blame or shaking a finger. It's about you and me peeling back the layers of what makes us human, what tugs at our hearts when we least expect it. Think back to when you first said "I do," or picture a couple you've watched grow. The early days are like a summer night under the stars. Late night talks that stretch past midnight, stolen glances across a crowded room, the kind of closeness that feels like a warm blanket on a chilly evening. You're seen, you're wanted, and every word feels like it's stitching you tighter together. It's magic, right? But then the years roll by, 5, 10, maybe 20, and life starts piling on its baggage. Those deep talks turn into quick chats about who's picking up the milk or paying the electric bill. The kids need shoes, the car needs gas, and suddenly you're running a household instead of building a love story. That blanket, it's still there, but it's frayed at the edges, and you don't even notice until a cold draft sneaks in. Here's where it gets tricky. After miles of that same old road, some women start feeling like a ghost in their own home. You've been there, haven't you? Maybe not you exactly, but you've seen it. A friend, a sister, someone who's still loved but not noticed. The husband's still around, sure, but he's glued to the TV or buried in his phone, and she's left wondering if she's just the one who keeps the fridge stocked. It's not that the love's gone, it's just buried under a pile of everyday stuff, like a treasure chest sunk too deep to dig up. And that's when the danger creeps in, quiet as a shadow at dusk. Imagine this, she's out grabbing coffee, and some guy at the counter flashes a smile, says something simple like, "You've got a great laugh." It's nothing really, just a few words, but it lands like rain on dry ground. Or maybe it's a text from a coworker, something silly that makes her grin for the first time in weeks. Her heart gives a little jump, and suddenly she's not just a wife or a mom, she's her again, the woman who used to turn heads, who had dreams bigger than a grocery list. It's like stepping out of a stuffy room into a crisp fall day, leaves crunching under your boots. She doesn't mean to chase it, but that feeling, it's a pull stronger than she expected. You might think she's looking for a way out, a ticket to ditch the life she's built. But hold on, that's not it. Most times, She's not plotting an escape over a glass of wine. She's just reaching for something she's lost along the way, something that got drowned out by the hum of routine. It's not about the guy at the coffee shop or the text. It's about feeling alive, about remembering the woman she was before the days all started blending together. And here's the thing, you've felt that itch too, haven't you? That quiet ache for something fresh, even if it's just a new hobby or a road trip a few miles out of town. For her though, that ache can lead her closer to a line she never meant to cross. Let's walk through it together and see how it unfolds. So, if she's not running for the hills, what's pulling her closer to that line we talked about? It's not like she wakes up one morning, pours her coffee, and decides to toss her marriage out the window. No, it's sneakier than that. Like a slow leak in a tire, you don't notice until you're stuck on the side of the road, miles from home. I'm here to walk you through it, you and me, to figure out how she talks herself into something she never saw coming. It's less about a grand plan and more about the little whispers in her head, the ones that start soft and grow louder with every step. Picture her at the kitchen table, scrolling through her phone after dinner. The house is quiet. Maybe the kids are in bed. Maybe her husband's watching the game in the next room. A message pops up. "Hey, you were hilarious today." It's from that guy, could be a co-worker, a friend, someone she barely knows. Her lips curl into a smile, and for a second, she's not just the one who packed the lunches or folded the laundry. She's funny. She's interesting. It's a tiny thing, right? Like finding a shiny penny on the sidewalk. She types back, "Thanks, you too," and hits send. No harm done. It's just words, a quick chat, nothing to lose sleep over. But here's where it shifts. That little buzz in her chest, it sticks around. Next day, she's back at it. Another message, another laugh. It's like tossing a pebble into a still pond. The ripples spread slow and easy. She tells herself, "This is fine. I'm not hurting anyone." It's just a pick-me-up, like a second cup of coffee on a long afternoon. You've been there, haven't you? That moment when something small feels good, and you let it slide because it's not a big deal. Maybe for you it's an extra slice of pie, or a late-night scroll through old photos. For her, it's this, a thread of connection that feels like a lifeline. Then the excuses start piling up, soft as autumn leaves on the lawn. "He's been so busy lately. If he cared, I wouldn't need this." Or, "I've given everything to this family. I deserve a little something for me." It's not loud arguing with herself. It's a quiet deal she strikes in her mind, like whispering a secret to the mirror. She's not planning to run off with this guy. She's just dipping her toes in the water, testing how it feels to be noticed again. You can see it, can't you? How easy it is to nudge the guilt aside when it's wrapped in a warm glow. Weeks turn into months, and those chats aren't so innocent anymore. They're late-night talks now. Maybe she's curled up on the couch, the glow of her phone lighting her face while the house sleeps. She's sharing stuff she hasn't told her husband in years, dreams she shelved, worries she buried. It's not about the guy, it's about how he listens, how he makes her feel like she's more than a shadow in her own story. You've felt that pull too, I bet, that hunger to be heard, to matter. For her, it's a crack in the dam, and the water's starting to seep through. Here's the thing, she doesn't see it as wrong. Not yet. She's built a little wall in her head, splitting this from her marriage like two separate rooms. This is mine, she thinks, and that's ours. But every word she shares pulls her a step further, like a kite drifting higher on a windy day. She's not cheating, not in the way you'd picture it, but she's already letting go, piece by piece. Let's keep going, you and me, and see where this road bends next. So what happens when that kite we talked about stops drifting and starts soaring out of reach? You've seen her dip her toes in, convince herself it's no big deal, those late-night chats, that secret glow from her phone. But now, you and I are stepping into the thick of it, where the ground gets shaky and the stakes climb higher than she ever planned. This isn't just a little detour anymore, it's a road that's curving fast, and she's holding the wheel tighter with every mile. Let's walk it together, because this is where it all tips over the edge. She's not the same woman who shrugged off that first "you're funny" text months ago. Back then, it was a spark, a flicker she could blow out if she wanted. Now, it's a fire she's feeding, log by log, and she doesn't even see the smoke curling up around her. Picture her sneaking a glance at her phone during dinner. Husband's right there, fork in hand, talking about the leaky faucet, and she's half listening, half lost in a message that says, "Can't stop thinking about you." Her heart does a quick two-step, like it's dancing to a tune she forgot she loved. She hides the screen, flashes a smile, says, "Yeah, we'll call the plumber," but inside, she's already miles away, chasing that rush. It's not just words now, it's meetings. Maybe she's grabbing coffee with him, just as friends, sitting across a sticky diner table, laughing over a spilled sugar packet. His hand brushes hers, lingers a beat too long, and she doesn't pull back. That's the moment, the first crack splitting through the ice she's been skating on. You feel it, don't you? That shiver when something shifts, when maybe turns into yes. She tells herself, "I can stop anytime," like a kid promising one more scoop of ice cream. But the next time's easier. Lunch stretches into a walk turns into a late drive down some quiet road, headlights cutting through the dusk. The lies start small, like weeds popping up in a garden. "I'm running errands," she says, tossing her keys on the counter when she's really been parked a few blocks over, spilling her heart to him under a streetlight. Her husband asks, "Who's texting you?" And her pulse jumps. She mumbles, "Just a friend," and turns away quick, like she's dodging a spotlight. At first it stings to lie. It's a sour taste she washes down fast. But give it a few weeks, a month or two, and she's a pro, covering her tracks like she's hiding footprints in fresh snow. You've seen that dance before, haven't you? How fast guilt can turn into a game you play to win. And here's where it roars to life. The high she's chasing isn't him anymore, it's the feeling. Every buzz of her phone is a jolt, like a shot of whiskey on a cold night, warming her from the inside out. She's hooked, caught in a loop she can't quit, because when she's with him, she's not just a wife or a mom stuck in the daily grind. She's wild again, free, like she's 20 years old with the whole world at her feet, wind in her hair, no strings pulling her back. You know that pull, the way something forbidden lights you up, makes every color sharper, every breath deeper. But then comes the crash, the moment it's not a game anymore. She's not just flirting, she's all in, heart pounding, head spinning, and the marriage she swore to keep. It's fading in the rearview mirror, a blurry shape she barely recognizes. One night, she's lying awake, staring at the ceiling, while he sleeps beside her, not her husband, but him, and it hits her like a freight train. She's not steering this anymore. The kites cut hats, she's lost control, tangled in a web she spun herself, and there's no untangling it now. She's crossed the line, and there's no road back. You can't look away, can you? Because this is where it all breaks wide open. Let's see how it ends. So, what's the real takeaway after watching her kite crash into the treetops? You've walked this winding road with me, seen how a married woman can drift from a steady porch swing to a storm she never saw brewing. It's not a pretty ending, but it's a loud, clear truth. She didn't set out to burn her life down. It crept up, slow as a shadow stretching across the yard at dusk, until she was too far gone to turn back. Now, you and I are standing here, picking up the pieces of this story, figuring out what it means for you, for me, for anyone who's ever felt the ground shift under their feet. Let's paint the picture one last time. She started with a flicker, a text, a laugh, a moment that felt like a cool breeze on a sticky summer day. It wasn't about tossing her vows out the car window. It was about chasing a piece of herself she'd lost somewhere along the way, maybe 10 years back, maybe 20. Life had piled on its weight: kids, bills, a husband who stopped looking her in the eye. And when that guy across the diner table saw her, really saw her, it was like someone flipped a light switch in a room she'd forgotten was dark. You've felt that, haven't you? That itch for something to shake up the same old, same old. But here's where it twists tight. She didn't just trip over the line, she built a bridge to cross it, plank by plank. Every "it's no big deal, and I deserve this" was a nail hammered in. Every late night chat, a step further down a road with no U-turns. By the end, she wasn't just sneaking coffee dates, she was living a whole other life, her heart parked miles from the home she'd built. He's the stranger now, sleeping beside her while her mind's wrapped up in someone else. It's raw, messy, and real, like a thunderstorm rolling in after a quiet afternoon, tearing up everything in its path. So why does this hit you square in the chest? Because it's not about her being bad or weak, it's about being human. She's not the villain here, she's you, she's me, she's anyone who's ever let a small want grow into a big need. That's the hook that reels you in. We're all wired to crave the new, the shiny, the thing that makes us feel alive again. But when you let it run wild, when you stop watching those little steps, it's like handing the keys to your life to a stranger and saying, "Drive." She didn't mean to crash, but she did. And now you're wondering, could that be me? Have I ever been a mile down that road without noticing? Here's the gold in all this mud, the piece you can carry with you. You've got the power to see it coming. You don't have to be her, staring at a wrecked marriage from the other side of the fence. Those quiet signals, the buzz of a temptation, the tug of an excuse, they're yours to catch, yours to steer. What's pulling at you right now? Is it a harmless flirt, a late-night scroll, or something bigger you've tucked away? You don't need to answer me out loud, just sit with it. Because if you can spot those pebbles before they pile up, you can keep your feet on solid ground. That's the truth worth holding. It's not about never feeling the pull, it's about choosing where you plant your next step. So what's yours gonna be? What's your take after that wild ride? You've seen her slip, step by step, and I bet it's got you thinking. Don't just sit there, hit follow for more real talk like this. Drop a quick comment, what grabbed you most? Her excuses? The crash? Maybe you've been a mile down that road yourself. Share it. I'm all ears. Then pass this video to a friend, text it, post it, get them in on it. Temptation's universal, right? Let's keep this going. Follow, comment, share your move right now.